lie down and come into a comfortable reclined position. Just taking your arms out at your sides and flipping your palms up. Allow your eyes to close. Let your legs relax, your shoulders relax, your jaw relax. And just take a deep breath into your nose. When you're ready, open up the mouth and just let that breath go. And just kind of settle here. Let yourself be still. Set an intention, which is pretty much like an agreement with yourself on where you will set your attention for the length of this practice tonight. Maybe it's on a body part. Maybe it's on your level of effort. Maybe it's more internal, like letting go of something, releasing stress. Maybe it's something you're working to cultivate. And then when you're ready to, you can just start to walk the feet in and bring the knees into the chest. And just give yourself a big squeeze. You can massage out the low back a little bit. So maybe circling the knees. Massaging out the muscles of the spine. And then dropping your knees down to the right. As your knees come down to the right, extend out through the arms. Make like a T shape with the arms. And let's move into a little deeper. Feel your top knee, your left knee, sliding out over your right knee. So you get the knees into the same line. And then have that left arm reaching all the way out to the left. Bring that left shoulder blade as close as you can get it to the floor for a little more extension. Take a breath in. And let it go. And then you can bring those knees back up through center. And dropping your knees over to the left. And just like we did on the other side, have that awareness of kind of moving your right knee directly over your left knee so the knees are perfectly stacked. And then roll your chest open to the right, extend out through the right arm, move the right shoulder blade towards the ground. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then just move back to center, bring your knees back to neutral, hug the knees in. And let's take the legs up towards the ceiling here. So just extend your legs straight up, wiggle out your toes, roll out your ankles a little bit. And just place your palms to either side of your hips, palms down. So before you move, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to be moving into plows, in and out of plow pose. So you're going to be kind of calling upon your core as much as you can to get there. So push into your arms and try to bring your toes as close to the ground over the crown of your head as you can. And it's early, so if that's not going to happen, then just go some of the way. So you roll over into plow, using your arms a lot, pushing down into the palms. And keeping those legs straight, as slow as you can, start to roll out of plow, and as smooth as possible, bring your legs straight forward towards the front of your yoga mat and hover your heels about 6 inches off the floor. So you're kind of rolling with control up and down the spine. Feel your low back pushing into the mat right now. So firm through the low back, squeezing through the legs. And then repeat that. So push into the arms. Bring your toes way up overhead, reach the toes over the crown, press into the arms, and when you're ready, gently curling back out, bringing your heels down to hover just 6 inches above the floor, keeping your low belly engaged. And at your own pace, I'd like you to just do a few more like this. So there's no rush, just moving with your breath, checking in with your back body and your core, feeling your spine rolling up and down. And if you want more at any point during these rolls, you can take your arms overhead. So you take the strength out of the arms, take the arms out of the equation rather, and you're purely moving from your core if you move your arms overhead. So your choice, a few more rounds. Whatever set that you're on right now, this will be your last one. So take one more. And then you can pull the knees into the chest, wrap your arms around your legs as you complete that final round. Take your hands now to the hamstrings behind your thighs and just start to rock forward and back until you can gain the momentum to get all the way up into a standing forward bend. So you'll bring your feet to hip width distance. Grab your elbows into ragdoll. Keep the breath nice and smooth and deep as you feel into your hamstring muscles. As you hold onto your elbows, create a little bit of a sway side to side. Relax the head, relax the neck. Hey Chelsea, I see you just jumped on. We just began, so we're in a standing forward bend ragdoll style right now. Holding onto the elbows, folding over the legs. Now take your hands around your low back and bind your hands here. As you clasp your hands there, stretch your knuckles up towards the ceiling, squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other, and begin to pull your knuckles forward and overhead. So getting a little extra stretch into the shoulders. Tuck your chin a little closer into your chest. Lean a little bit into the balls of the feet. See if you can feel your shoulder blades pull even closer. And then release the hands down to the floor, bend the knees and roll slowly all the way up to standing. So just take your time, nice and slow, roll up one vertebra at a time. And just arriving when you arrive, there's no rush. Maybe take a neck roll around to one way, the other way, roll the shoulders around. As you stand here, palms spin forward in Tadasana. Feel your chest lifting up a little bit, engage your quads. Feel your feet are rooted. And then sweep the arms all the way up overhead, inhaling. Urdhva Hastasana, exhaling Uttanasana, come down over the legs. Inhale to a half lift, and as you exhale, you can place your hands down and step back into plank pose. Pause here. Pressing into the palms, turning on the legs, feeling your heels reach straight back, zip up through the belly. Take one more breath in. And on your exhale, drop your knees into table pose. Adjust your stance as needed for some cat and cow. So with an inhale breath, lift your crown, your tailbone. With your exhale breath, round your spine, just working into the spine a little bit more, into the muscles in the back body. Synchronize your movement and your breath. If you want to add anything on here, you can barrel roll your chest or clock the hips around, circle the head around. Good. Take one more set of cow and cat, and then find your way to a neutral spine. As you come to neutral spine, we're going to take a modified side plank. So send your right leg back and drop the foot onto the floor. Lean into your left palm, take your right arm to the sky. If you need a little more balance, you can pivot on your left knee so the left toes shift behind you a little bit. Make your right leg strong and straight. Take your top arm and just stretch it past the crown of the head, getting into the side body a bit. Breathe into the side ribs, then circle your right hand down and just switch. So right hand down, the right knee comes to the floor, the left leg extends back. Take that modified side plank on the other side, grip down into the finger pads, the whole circumference of your right palm. Stretch your left arm forward, get that side body stretched out a little bit. Breathe into the rib cage. And then circling that left palm down to the floor. And then take down dog. So tuck your toes under, lift your hips, press your thighs back. First downward dog of our practice. You can pedal out your legs a little bit, bend the knees, shake out the head. Come into some nice big breaths. Maybe open the mouth and let out a ha. Release your day-to-day, release any worries, release your stress. And come up high into the tippy toes. Bend your knees, look forward, and step or hop to the top of your mat. And when you get there, just beam your heart forward, taking a nice big inhale. And then forward fold, letting go, exhaling. With your inhale, reach the arms overhead. And bring the hands to the heart, exhale. Good. Circle the arms back up towards the ceiling. Big inhale breath. Exhale and diving forward, breathing out. Halfway lift, breathe in. And step back to plank. Lower halfway or all the way down, up to you. And then slide through to cobra or up dog. Open up your collarbones. Downward dog, exhale, press your thighs back and reach your heels into the mat. Take an inhale here, and on your exhale, feel your chest move back towards your toes. Lift up onto your tiptoes, full breath in. Bend the knees and step or jump to the top of your mat. We'll come up to a flat back, breathing in, lengthen the spine. And fold, exhale. With your inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Looking up, maybe stretching back, the hips pressing forward. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart, breathing out. Circle the arms up overhead, big inhale. And then diving forward, exhale, touching the ground, drop the head, relax the neck. Halfway lift, breathing in, lengthen the spine, and on your exhale, step or jump back, plank pose. Elbows tucked in as you lower. Pointing the toes and lifting the chest. Up dog or cobras to downward dogs, exhaling. Big inhale. Big exhale. So looking forward, bend the knees. Step, jump, hop to the top of your mat. When you inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold, let it go. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Full breath, gather up all the air you can. Hands to the heart, exhale. Circle the arms up, inhale, just kind of moving with your breath. Diving forward on your exhale, come on down. A flat back, lengthening the spine, breathing in, and then again, step, jump back, lower down. Elbows in as you roll over the tops of your feet to cobra or upward dog, and making your way back into downward dog. Stay here and breathe. Spread your fingers really wide. Press through the finger pads and knuckles. Feel your hips pressing up and back, a little bend in the knees so that you can get the tailbone lifted. So as your sits bones go up, your heels go down. Smoothing out your breath as you bring a little more power and energy into those quads. You don't have to straighten the legs to bring power into the quads, so find that if that's you, with the knees bent a little bit. Good, and then take your right leg up towards the ceiling, big inhale. And bend the knee, open up the hip. So as you hold the hip open here, try to move your left outer hip in towards midline a little bit, kind of firming the left outer hip towards center line. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, bring your right knee to your right upper arm. Hold, feeling the heel kind of lifting towards the right hip, so deep bend in that right knee. Working through the arms and your core, and then as smoothly, as calmly as you can, step just outside your right hand into a wide lunge. And just stay on the ball mound of the back foot as your hands come to the inside of the right. And sink your hips while you keep that back knee lifted, and just kind of move around a little bit. Kind of circle the hips, shift forward and back, sway it side to side, kind of being curious about what's going on in that hip joint. Good. If you drop to your elbows, climb back up onto your palms. Turn your back heel down, kind of like a warrior one, warrior two. And then walk your hands to the top left corner of your yoga mat. So you're going to go at a diagonal with your upper body, trying to keep your right knee tracking over your right ankle or pulling towards the long edge of your mat. Back leg stays strong. So the upper body looks a little bit like a down dog, and the lower body looks either like a warrior one or warrior two in the legs. Okay. And then bring your hands back to center and let your left knee just drop down now. So come to the toes and drop your back knee to the floor. Take your right arm to the sky, twisting. And either stay here or get the quad stretch in by bending your left knee and reaching back to hold on to the outer edge of the left foot. So you can keep your arm reaching to the ceiling and twist it out, or you can twist and bind here. Take a couple big breaths into the front of your left hip. Roll your right shoulder back and open. Try not to create any extra tension anywhere. So relax jaw and space between the eyes. And then releasing your right hand from your left foot, come back to downward facing dog. So push into the palms as you step back. Good. Inhale forward into a high plank pose, top of a push-up. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way down. Up dog or cobra. Downward dog, exhale. All right. Let's move on to the other side. So the left leg's gonna peel up, bend the knee, open up the hip, and just like you did on the other side, pull your right outer hip towards center line a little bit. Keep rolling that left hip up, but keep firming your outer right hip in. Push through your palms, stretch your chest towards your toes. Good, then bring your left knee to your left upper arm and hold. Preferably the outer arm. Pull the heel in close, push the hands down a lot, and then slowly and softly step outside your left pinky. Good. Keep your back knee up for now and stay on your toes on that right foot. You can stay on your hands or come to your elbows, but you're just going to move around here. Kind of stir up the hips. Check out the energy around your hips and thighs, hip flexors, femur bones, hip socket. Get some blood flow moving. And then coming up onto your palms, spin your back heel down, walk your hands at a diagonal towards the top right corner of your mat, and try your best to keep the lower body either in like a warrior one, warrior two stance, where your front knee is over the ankle and your back leg is strong, but then from your hips, reach out through your fingertips and create what looks kind of like a down dog in your upper body. Smooth out your breath. Pull your outer left hip towards the midline. And then walk your hands back to neutral. Roll to the back toes and just set your right knee down to the mat. Take your left arm to the sky for a little twist. And if you're adding in the big quad stretch, bend your right knee, reach back, grab a hold of the foot, kick back into the hand, open up. Couple rounds of breath here. And then releasing your back foot gently, set your left hand down and take a step back for a downward dog. So just lift the hips up and back, take your thighs back, reach your heels down. Come forward into plank pose, top of a push-up. Lower halfway, exhale. And cobra up dog, big breath in. Downward dog, exhale, press back. Bend the knees, look forward. Step or jump to the top of your mat. Come up halfway, inhale and lengthen. And as you exhale, try to bring your hands flat down to the floor, even if bending the knees is something you have to do to get that to happen. So palms are flat. And get a lot of pressure going down through both of your hands. It feels like you might even be able to leave a little dent or handprints on your yoga mat here. And see if you can now shift your weight into your heels and lift your toes up. And then maybe lift the balls of the feet up. So you're leaning into your heels, using the fronts of the shins, picking up the toes and the balls of the feet, and maybe straightening the legs more. Take a breath here, stretching out. And then set the ball mounds of the feet and the toes down. Good. Come halfway up, big breath in. Step back to plank pose, top of a push-up. Lower halfway, exhale, elbows close to the ribs, roll over the tops of your feet, up dogs and downward dogs, breathing out. Good, in your downward dog, take your right leg up towards the sky, breathing in. Bring the right knee to the nose and hold. Try to lift your hips even higher, active in the hands. Core is super strong. And then softly step your right foot forward. Let your back knee come down to the floor. Bring your hands to your hips and bring yourself upright, kind of lunging forward. Good. Now tuck your back toes under, and rather than thinking about going up to get into a crescent, just think about straightening the back leg. So bringing the back knee off the floor by pushing back through that left heel. So you get a big stretch into the front of your left hip, but you're staying low. Then reach the arms up. Pull the right hip in and back. Lift through the side ribs. Notice where the pose is challenging you. Sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's mental. Just breathe. Sometimes it's both. And lower your hands down. Step back, vinyasa. Right foot meets the left. Flow through. And I'll remind you, you don't have to take every single one. So if you'd like, you can always skip the vinyasa and just go to down dog instead. Bring your left leg up towards the ceiling. Inhaling. Knee towards the nose. Curl and round. Hold here for a moment. Building strength. Knit those ribs, squeeze the belly, and then softly step forward, left foot to the top of your mat. The back knee drops, and your hands come to your hips. Bring yourself upright. Good, and as you come upright, little tuck in the pelvis as you drop your hips forward and down. And then tuck your back toes, start to straighten your right leg by pushing your heel back. Reach your arms up overhead, stretching out through the fingertips. Inhale here, and exhale, lower the hands down, step back, flow it through. Just notice the effects of moving your body. Remember, it's not so much about the actual poses, but about moving energy, and letting those shifts take place. Good. Bend the knees, look forward. Step or jump to the top of your mat. Come up to a flat back, breathe in. And now hold right here, fingertips on the floor. Your legs might not be able to straighten out, and that's fine. But I want you to walk your hands to the right. Keep your legs how they are, but walk your hands to the right and keep going, keep going, keep going until maybe even you get both of your hands turned all the way towards the back side of your yoga mat. And then fold there. Good. Try to push out through both feet so you keep your feet really planted. Just seeing how far you can go. Toes are pointing straight forward. Feel into your low back, into your lats, into the side stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Then crawl your hands back out to center, kind of into that lengthened spine again to reset. And then walk your hands over to the left, all the way back, as far as you can go. Keeping your feet firmly rooted. And then walking your fingertips forward once more. Coming up halfway. And then just forward fold. Bring your feet together. Utkatasana, chair pose. So sitting low and stretching the arms overhead. Little tuck in the pelvis. Squeeze your knees together if your thighs are touching. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Back down over the legs. Moving through vinyasa. So if you want to take that flat back, you can. Otherwise, just step back. Flowing it through. Good. And we're meeting back in a down dog. Take a nice big inhale here. Open your mouth, let it go like a big reset button's being pushed. Bring your attention back to here and now. Remember your intention. Take an inhale. And take an exhale. Then come forward onto plank, or out to plank pose rather. And hold right here. And just for fun, maybe come up onto your right fingertips. Maybe you come onto your right fingertips, maybe not. Maybe you go and reach the right arm forward towards the front of your space. And then maybe you lift your left toes up off the floor, just for fun. Hold 3, 2, and set toes and fingertips back down. Come to normal plank. Nice job. How about the other side? Come to your left fingertips. Maybe reach the left arm forward. Maybe reach the right leg back. Balancing in plank for 3, 2, and then back to normal plank pose. Lower all the way down to the floor. Nice job. Come all the way down. And when you land on the floor, just release the tops of the feet down and bring your hands around your low back. Interlace all 10 fingers here. Squeeze your palms together, roll your shoulders back, and lift your hands away from your tailbone. Now lift your chest a little bit, keep your legs down, and we're gonna take an interesting pose. It's like a twisting Shalabhasana. So you're gonna twist, take your knuckles to the right, take your chest to the left, rolling towards that right shoulder. Keep both hips on the floor as you do this. Pull your knuckles back to the right. Breathe. Hands might even touch the floor outside your right hip. It could happen. And then switch, come through center. Nice, Sophie, lift up, big breath in, and roll the knuckles to the outer left hip. Keep your legs really anchored, both hips planted, legs are strong, toes are reaching. Inhale. And then come back to center. Take one more breath to lift up. Then exhale, lower down. Just relax your arms at your sides, turn your head to the right, and just relax here. Couple breaths. Good. Go ahead and set your palms down alongside your chest, fingers spread wide. Nose touching the floor, tip of the nose on the floor. And then tuck all 10 toes under from behind and push your heels back so that your kneecaps are starting to come up off the mat. And lift up into plank pose. Try your best. Push the floor away, get into plank, then lead the hips up and back into downward dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale your right leg up towards the sky. So right leg goes up high. Exhale your right knee to your right arm. Pause, hold here. Maybe come onto your left fingertips. Maybe reach your left arm forward. And three-legged dog. Take your right leg up and back. Inhale. Take your right knee to your left elbow. Cross it underneath you. Pause. Maybe bring your right arm forward. See what happens. I could be totally wrong with what arm. Yeah, that looks right. Yeah, right arm. Float it forward. And then right palm down. Three-legged dog. Reach the right leg up. Big breath in. And then step your right foot forward between your thumbs. So right foot comes forward, come into crescent, reach your arms up overhead. And just sit deep into the front knee, listen to your breath. Take a full inhale. Take a full exhale. And then bring your hands together at the heart. And we're going to twist, bringing the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Now pushing elbow into knee. Pressing the palms into each other. Back leg stays strong. Empty out all of your breath and pull your navel to your spine so that you can carefully come back up into crescent. Reaching the arms back up to the sky. And then bring your back foot forward a little so the heel comes down. Straighten both legs. Take your hands behind your back so we can get into a reverse prayer pose with the hands, or hold on to your elbows behind you. So just getting to open up those shoulders a little bit. Lift your chest, whether you're holding elbows or you have reverse prayer. Inhaling there and exhaling to fold forward into your right leg. Feel your outer hips hugging in. Press your palms all the way together. If you have reverse namaste, try to slide them up the back. Deep breaths. Good. Then just release your hands down to the floor and step back into downward facing dog. Come forward into plank, high push-up, and lower halfway, exhaling. Cobra or up dog, big breath. Down dog, exhale, press back. Left leg goes up, inhale, breathe in. Left knee to left upper arm, hold, stay here. Maybe reach your right arm forward. Back to three-legged dog, left leg to sky, both palms down. Take your left knee to your right elbow, press and hold. Maybe bring your left arm forward. Maybe come onto the fingertips. Maybe it just hops off the floor for a split second and then comes back down. Left leg goes back up. Inhale, nice job. Sweep it high. Step forward into crescent. So step and rise. Full breath in, reach up. Bring your hands to your heart. Lean forward and twist. Hook your right elbow outside your left knee. Rinse it all out. Spinning your heart towards your thumb knuckles. Keeping your back leg strong and lifted. Empty out your breath, really calling upon your core strength so that you can come out and reach your arms back up. Good. And then bringing your back foot in, just a little step. Straighten both of your legs. Bring the hands behind you. Take that reverse namaste, reverse prayer with your palms together or holding onto your elbows. Big inhale to lift your heart. And as you exhale, lean forward and fold down. Pyramid pose with the hands behind the back. Smooth out your breathing. And release your hands down. Step back to downward dog. And begin to flow it on through. Now get back into your down dog, catch your breath, smooth it out. Take your right leg and lift it towards the ceiling, breathing in. Step your right foot forward, spin the back heel down and pause. Feel your outer right hip pull towards midline, squeeze your back leg strong. Look forward and reach your arms forward so that the same angle is happening in your upper body and your back leg. And then power in that back leg. Look at your thumbs and follow them all the way up into Warrior One. So stretch up, sitting into that front thigh, squaring your hips. Take another big breath in. And then open for Warrior Two. So bring your arms out wide. Look over your right fingertips. Track your right knee over the pinky toe of the right foot. Take an inhale here. And on your exhale, put your right palm down to the floor inside your right foot. If that's not happening for you, you can modify. Put your hand on a block or your elbow onto the knee. And if you have the hand down, then your shoulder's probably close to the inner part of your right knee. You can push that knee open, pulling your outer right hip in towards a middle line or in towards center. And then can you come up onto the fingertips of the right hand? And then come up onto just the middle fingertip of the right hand without changing anything. And then just straighten your right leg, you're in triangle. So start to move your right hip back, triangle pose, leaning back into it, pressing through the feet. Holding triangle pose, bring your top arm forward past your crown, so it's an extended triangle. Then maybe the bottom hand comes up too. So both arms are reaching forward, turning your chest away from the floor. Take another breath. Then look down, bend your front knee, move into half moon. So right hand forward, right hand down, and the left arm goes up. Your left leg came off the floor. You're flexing that left foot. And if you'd like to bind and take Chapasana, bend your left knee, reach your left hand back, catch a hold of the left foot, kick into the hand. Step back into Warrior Two. So find your way. Nice and steady, land it, reach out to the arms, front heel aligned with the arch of your back foot. Push your right knee out to the right, reach the arms as wide as you can. And now bring your right palm to the outside of your right foot, side angle pose. Stretch your top arm towards the front of the room, take your gaze up towards the sky or the ceiling. Smooth out your breath. Can you come onto your right fingertips? Can you come onto your right middle finger? Can you reach your right arm forward so that both arms are stretching forward? And then you might choose to take flying half moon now. So you lean into the front foot. Both of your arms stay reaching forward. Your left leg hovering off the mat. Maybe it happens. Firm that outer right hip underneath you. And warrior two. Land, heel to arch alignment, arms wide. Nice big breath in. Oh, let it go. Reverse your warrior. Reach your right arm up and back. Crawling those left fingertips down your back leg. And just one more side angle. Bring your right arm down to the inside of your right leg, and this time maybe binding it. So if you like to bind here, wrap your left arm around your low back, your right arm under your right thigh. And if you want to take one more funky variation in your half moon, keep this bind and see if you can lean into your right foot and bring your left foot off the floor into a bound half moon. So you keep the bind around your outer right hip. You lift your left leg up off the floor. And then you'll step back, release into plank pose. So step back, unravel, step into plank. Oof, lower halfway, chaturanga, up dog cobra, and down dog. Exhale. I think I'm just sweating watching you practice. And I'm just sitting here with my feet up, but I'm feeling the burn from here. And I can't even imagine how Ashley and Eric feel in the hot studio right now. So I have to give you guys good credit. Let's go to the other side. If I can remember everything we did on this side. So you're going to take your left leg up towards the sky, big breath in, and step your left foot forward towards your thumbs. The back heel spins down, pause. Nice. Hug your outer left hip towards the midline. And then reach your arms forward towards the front of your space. So your back leg and your front body in the same line. Arms are reaching in the same direction. Now look at your thumbs. Rise up into full warrior one. Stretching out through the fingertips. Sit a little deeper. Inhale. Warrior two. Turn and face the long edge of your mat. Adjust heel to arch alignment. Pull your left knee open towards the left side of your space. And then bring your left palm to the floor inside your left foot if you can. If you cannot, then hand on a block is fine. Elbow on the knee is fine. Push your left knee wider with your left shoulder or upper arm. Squeeze through the back thigh. Smoothing out your breath as you turn your chest away from the floor. And can you come up onto your left fingertips? And can you come up onto just your left middle finger? And now hold and just straighten your left leg into triangle pose. If you need to modify the position of your left hand, feel free. Maybe the fingertips stay on the floor. Maybe the hand grabs the shin. Maybe the hand goes outside the foot. Stretch it all open in all directions. Reach your top arm, your right arm forward past your crown. And then see if maybe your bottom arm can also reach in that same direction. Stretch out through your fingertips. Turn your chest away from the floor. Spin your heart up. Now looking down, shifting into that half moon. So left hand forward onto the floor as your right leg floats up off the mat. If you'd like to bend your back knee, catch the foot, kick into it, Chapasana, sugar cane pose. Take another breath, inhaling, and try to land it back in warrior two as smoothly as you can. Good. And as you get back into your warrior two pose, take an inhale here and bring your left hand down outside your left foot and hold here now. Check in with your breathing. We're going to come up onto those left fingertips. Left middle finger, you're still in that side angle. Can you bring your left arm up to match the same angle as your right arm? So both of your arms are reaching out right now. And maybe you're going to shift into a flying half moon, meaning your hands don't come on the floor. You keep them reaching towards the front of your space. You're trying to stack your right shoulder over your left, your right hip over your left. Firm that outer left hip in towards the midline, and then land at warrior two. Step back. Now, the dogs in my neighborhood are going crazy. I'm not sure if you can hear them. Pull your left knee a little bit wider, heel aligned with that back arch. And we're going to take one more variation here. So you're going to bring your left arm down to the inside of the left leg and take the bind if that's in your practice. So hands behind the back, right arm wraps around your low back, left arm under your thigh. And if you would like to move on and play around with that bound half moon variation, lean into your left foot and bring your right leg up. And maybe the toes just come up a few inches. Maybe they lift all the way up. Play around with it. Patience is key. And when you're ready, take plank pose and flow it on through. Getting back into down dog, drop those knees down to the mat. Forehead to the floor. Smooth out your breathing. And then slowly begin to make your way up, pressing back into your downward facing dogs. Hips go high, thighs go back. We have one more bit of standing to do, standing sequence. So gather up your breath and your intentions and your power and your strength. Take your right leg up towards the ceiling with an inhale breath. And then step your right foot forward to the top of your mat. Shift forward into your fingertips more so you can lift your left leg up for a standing splits. So just carrying that left leg up towards the ceiling as you bow over your front thigh. Letting your head and your neck go, maybe rolling out that ankle. Now, come onto fingertips and come up halfway. Keep your left leg lifted. And you're going to bring your left leg down next to your right, but you're not going to let the left foot touch the floor. So bring your left leg next to your right, but try to hover that left foot so it's not actually on the mat. It's just right next to your right foot, but not touching the floor. Now bring your right hand to your right hip. Grab the left big toe with the pointer middle. Can you come all the way up to standing on your right leg, sending your left leg forward into Padangusthasana, and then opening the leg out to the left, position B. Lift through the heart, feel strong in your standing leg. Take an inhale. Bring the leg back to center. Breathe through those wobbles. Keep the leg where it is. Bring both hands to your hips. Flex those left toes up, up, up. And then move the left leg back behind you as if you were going to go to warrior three pose. Bring your body down, but instead drop your left hand under your left shoulder. Use your right hand on your right hip to open up that right hip as you go into a revolved half moon. Right arm reaches up to the sky, twisting. If you'd like to bend your left knee, reach your right hand back and hold the left foot. You'll be in the bound variation of the twisted half moon. And then releasing the foot if you bound, take a big step back for your plank pose. So land it back into plank, flow through. Good, in your downward dog, let's just do this on the left side. You've got this. Take that left leg high, breathe in. Step between your thumbs, breathing out. Shift into fingertips, float your right leg off the mat. Folding into your front thigh, carrying those toes up high. Let your head drop and release. Relax your jaw. And then just like before, you're going to come up halfway and pause. Bring your right foot to hover right next to your left. So you're going to have your legs in the same line, but just a little sliver of space is still beneath your right foot. Take your left hand to your left hip. Grab your right big toe. The leg can stay straight or you can bend it as you come up to stand. So you're bringing your right leg up, extending the leg forward to your best ability. Stand tall, stand proud. Open the leg to the right. Look over your left shoulder, testing out your balance here. Bring the leg back through center. Stay strong. Keep that right leg where it is. Reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Pass through what would be warrior three, but instead drop your left hand to the mat. So you end up in a revolved, your right hand to the mat, right hand down. You end up in this revolved half moon. So right hand is on the floor under the shoulder and your right leg is extended back behind you. Twisting towards the left side of your space. Maybe bend your right knee now. Reach your left hand back. See if you can find the foot somewhere back there. And then kick into the hand. Beautiful job. Stick with it. Take another inhale. And exhale. Find your way to plank and take your very last vinyasa. Elbows hugging in as you come down. Roll over the tops of your feet. Cobra, up dog, down dog. Press it back. Sink those heels. Big inhale. Big exhale, half pigeon pose, right shin forward behind your wrists. Left leg works back in space. Fold forward and relax. This will be a nice long hold, so get comfortable, as comfortable as you can in a nice deep hip opener like this. Relax your shoulders and your jaw, clear your mental space, and just settle in. Start to walk your hands back in. And rather than taking it back to down dog, lean over into your left hip so you can circle your right, your right hip so you can circle your left leg forward. So you're gonna lean off to the right, bring that left leg forward. Have your left leg extended and set the right foot to the inner thigh. So left leg straight, right foot inner thigh. And open the legs up a little bit, wider maybe even, because we're gonna take a side bend. Now lay your left elbow down inside or outside the left knee, or reach all the way down for your left foot maybe. Take your right arm up and over and create a side bend. So opening up the right side body. Some of you might take the right hand all the way to the left toes. Others might wrap the right arm around the low back, do like a half bind. You can even just rest the hand on the floor in front of you if you want to. And for those that are feeling still pretty tight here, you could bend your left elbow and place your head into your left palm. You don't have to have that left arm fully extended, or put some blocks under the elbow. Again, another longer hold here. So we're just really trying to slow down. We did so much in the last hour. We're going to just kind of like sink into these poses and just let them do their work on us. And slowly, slowly, because you don't want to come out of this too fast. Head comes up last, just roll it back out. Take your time. When you're ready and there's no rush, just shift your hands forward the same way you brought that left leg forward. Just sweep it back and go to down dog. And we're just going to go right into the other side. So when you're ready, half pigeon, left shin forward, right leg back. Take a moment to find where you can kind of manage this hold with ease in your mind, with breath. And then start to press up into your palms. Take your time. Knowing where we're going, we're just going to be leaning into the left hip and circling the right leg around when you're ready. kind of these yin style holds to balance out all this yang we just did. Open your legs. So there's a lot of space between the thighs, so you can take that side bend. Right arm down, elbow down, the whole arm down. The left arm's going to go up and over. Just ease into it, knowing that you'll be here for a little while. There's no need to go into your deepest place and push yourself. Just let your body open up. Let gravity do the work. Let your head go. Let your your right ear fall towards your right shoulder. So you're just kind of letting your head and neck go. All of those modifications I mentioned are available. And then slowly just begin to bring yourself up. The head comes up last, nice and slow. And rather than kicking it back into a down dog from here, you can just position yourself to face forward for Paschimottanasana. So you can get one kind of neutral fold in. So legs out in front of you, sits bones back a little bit. Reach the arms overhead, breathing in. And as you exhale, just lean forward and fold. Bring your hands down to the feet or the ankles. Drop the head, maybe shake the head out a little bit here. And then peeling yourself all the way up. Take your time, slowly arriving up. And just make your way onto your backs. As you come onto your back, you can slide your feet in. Let's just take one last pose to counter the folds we've been doing. And just coming into a nice bridge pose. So lifting your hips up away from the floor. Pressing the arms down, maybe clasping the hands behind the back. Sending your sitting bones forward, your tailbone forward. Feel lots of pressure down into the feet, like you could almost stand up on your feet. That's how much drive you have down through the heels. And then just releasing vertebra by vertebra, like you could come down one vertebra at a time. And I'm actually going to give you a little bit of time to move into a final pose before Shavasana, because sometimes I know we like to end with some twists. I just thought of how nice a shoulder stand or plow might feel too, just because you've gotten a lot of stretching for the back body. So if you want to go into an inversion and take a shoulder stand or a plow, that's an option. Happy baby, anything that feels like a good idea. And when you're ready, you're going to set up for your final pose. So feel free to keep exploring. If you're ready now for that final shape, then go now. And if you're still moving around and kind of closing up your practice, that's fine. Give you another minute or so.